Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Chandler Cash, and this is a introduction video to many of the new viewers and incoming viewers to my channel. This video is just to serve as a way to let you guys know what to expect when coming to my channel, what you might see, what is going to be happening as I grow this channel more and more. Simply put, there's going to be some Let's Play videos. I'll be playing some of my favorite games, new releases, games that I thoroughly have enjoyed in the past and would like to share with the viewers, as well as to discuss these videos' artwork and inner workings, the design aspects, some of the things that people don't really get to know about when they're just playing their game. They don't get to know all the things that go on behind the scenes or behind the curtain, so to speak. So I'll be doing a lot of that in my Let's Play videos and a lot of that when I'm playing those games. I feel like that's something interesting that a lot of people would like to enjoy learning about, and I'd like to share with people too. As well, I'll also be working on designing a game from the ground up. So, to start off, to introduce everybody into what's going on in this channel, the development of a game is going to be kind of the main focus of the channel. There's going to be a lot of videos dedicated to that, but I will make sure to add more gameplay videos because I like playing games. I like to share what games I've enjoyed and talk about the, like I said, the inner workings of games. I really enjoy that concept, from the storytelling to the 3D modeling to the programming, all that type of stuff. So, heading back into the game development, the game that I will be creating is going to be called The Balance. This is kind of still a working title. It might change over time, but for right now, let's just say the game project is The Balance. This game is simply about how life is an infection that must be controlled and maintained. On this planet that the player will be on, I have it being named Eden. The player will be in this world where life just constantly grows. You'll have animals that have these giant egg sacs that'll just leech life from the host and then fall off and give birth to new life. It'll be sort of grotesque yet beautiful at the same time, since life is death and beauty in a way. But to go into more of this storyline, why life is such an infection in this world is because the God that gave birth to life in this world, she gave it no boundaries. She just gave it life and gave it uncontrolled life giving energies. And with that, the God found out that having all this life being untamed and unbound was kind of the wrong way of approaching things. So the godlike being ended up creating tyrants or titan like beings to kind of control that life. But these beings that were able to feast upon life and end life as they knew it kind of ended up feasting on life far too uncontrolled as well. They just annihilated everything. So, in order to maintain the uncontrolled life and uncontrolled death on this planet, the God created man. Man was the God's way of creating a being of life and death that could both control life and maintain the balance of death for life. So you can read on into a lot of these areas. The game is going to be a RPG fantasy game. We'll have some very interesting climates and weather changes and some fun things to start programming in a game. I'm really excited about that part. And you can see there's more over here. The target audience is both men and women, storytellers, fantasy fans, RPG lovers, anybody who loves an action adventure type game. I do heavily want this game to have a lot of good RPG elements, a lot of ways for the player to kind of craft their own story within the boundaries of the game as well. I still want to be able to push you guys through the game and kind of lead you through a interesting and fun story. To go on, here's some just concepts of what some of the environments may look like. I kind of want to add in some architecture from both, say, the Asian cultures, from like the samurais and monk buildings, and even add in things from the Vikings and European medieval knights. Kind of mash these three genres in a very nice way. I don't want it to seem like they're being thrown together and it just makes no sense. I'm going to kind of work it around so that it makes sense to the location that you're in. Say, of course, I have plans for Viking architecture to be in more snowy, mountainous climates, and then the monk climates to be more in rolling hills and maybe some mountains like you see here, like this giant monk temple that's probably in the valley of these huge mountains surrounding it. There's going to be a lot of fun things to do with that, as well as creating other areas where we see life being more uncontrolled, where we'll have these trees that carry egg sacs that will fall off and hatch and birth new life, whether that be a animal that can be controlled and maintained in their uncontrolled, unbound living force, or whether that would be a tyrant or a titan-like creature that is going to be uncontrolled and unbound in the amount of life that they devour. To show off what these creatures look like, we'll get to that a little later on. First off, I want to introduce the main character. It's going to be a female role. I quite like this storyline having a female character as the player. I am looking into possibly changing that up later, but for right now, the main character is Kara. She's about 5'11". I want her to be kind of like this hunter, druid, ranger character where she is able to call upon these inert magical abilities that she has no clue why she's able to do the things she can do. For most other people in this world, man isn't able to control life in the ways that Kara will be able to. Man is only able to control life by like herding these animals together and eating the fruits of these animals' labors or the fruits of their own labors in the environment by harvesting food for crops and things like that. Imagine mankind only being able to control life in the way that we can control life now, by herding cows and sheep so that they can be used for food or milk or wool. Mankind is able to do that with these creatures, but for Kara, she can actually eliminate the factors of their uncontrolled or unbound life. She will be able to bound them to certain rules that is of the player's choosing. Say this animal is able to give off tons of a fluid milk like substance, but if you go for just the milk substance, then this creature can never be harvested for meat because the milk taints the flesh or something like that and must be purified. So Kara has those abilities to actually control life and set boundaries. And that's what the player's abilities will be. That's where her druid magic kind of comes through. There's a lot of story behind her, a lot of interesting things that we'll cover in a later video when I talk more about her character concepting, as this video is just a pitch, a way to just kind of get you guys introduced to what this game's about and kind of get you hooked in a way. So right here is one of our apex predators. It is one of our actual Tyran creatures. As you can see, this down here being a representation of human scale. These creatures are large. They will be kind of the size of skyscrapers in a way when you come across them. Now, they do start off as like small pups, but being that life is still uncontrolled and unbound, and these creatures are uncontrolled and unbound by the amount of life that they can consume, these small pups can grow to the size of Great Danes within, say, an hour because they are just feasting upon whatever they can: dirt, grass, small animals that fit in their jaws, and just whatever they can get their mouth around because they are going through such extreme growth spurts. Imagine like the alien from the Alien movies, how it just was birthed and then within seconds of feasting, it was able to grow large. That's what these creatures kind of go through, and the growth spurts are just so painful on them that they become enraged by the pain, enraged by their hunger. They are just chaotic beings, and Kara, the player, will be able to possibly maintain these creatures and set boundaries on them. Maybe she'll be able to use this creature in a way to create dams or create flowing water in some ways. It all depends on what this creature's ability is. Some creatures, like for instance this one, would not be able to be maintained or controlled. Some do need to die and be vanquished from the planet because they are just too uncontrolled, too unbound by death and by life itself. And to kind of go on, this is right here going to be the very first level that I will be creating. It'll serve as my vertical slice, which means it'll be my section of the game that will be fully playable, fully designed, textured, everything. So I'll go into a little bit more detail into this right now, and then we'll cover more information about it later as I start to work on actually building these objects. So to start out, the player will start over here in this section and traverse across this red line to this area with these little like dog-like symbols. I want to introduce the character to kind of the aspects of being able to craft weapons, find vantage points where they can look out across the land and see things that are their objective markers, their point of interests, pretty much. As well as I want to introduce the player to movement, how you'll be able to mantle and climb around things, use your unique weapon, a rope dart, to actually latch on to points across the map and swing through them and reach higher areas. In this map, you won't really reach higher areas or be reaching a low point in the game, and I kind of have to kind of push the players through the tutorial level as this is acting in that way. Lastly, these little dog-like figurines right here are actually the very first enemies that the player will encounter. You're going to be outnumbered by this pack of wolves. Now, I call them wolves right now. They're going to be a different creature later. It's just that's the best representation I can give for your mind right now to understand what they are. These wolves will outnumber you, but you will be able to have a fighting chance in a way to try and survive them until you are rescued by a hunting party. So I know I didn't go into a lot of detail about this game. I'm going to go into more detail in a later video, so stick around for that. As well, if you would like to find more information about the balance and read into more of these things, you can find it here on my ArtStation. Just go to ArtStation /Chandler and you'll be able to find the game concept right here for the balance. Feel free to flip on through, learn more things about it. There's a lot of information here and a lot of things that I haven't shown or gone over, some concept artwork for Kara, the armor, the weapons, all sorts of things are here for you guys to enjoy and look. So, with that said, I will see you guys in a later video where we will discuss more things about this game. And if you enjoy what you've seen so far, leave a like or a comment down in the comments below and subscribe to let me know that there are people who are interested in this game and would actually buy it when it comes out. So, with that said, see you guys later.